What's up, Bills Mafia? The Buffalo Bills took care of business in Miami 21-14, and by doing so, they won their fourth straight AFC East title, and I got the players and coaches whose stock went up and those that went down. But before we get to that, let's get to that intro.
This is VZ Music.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. Guys, once again, I'm still battling this this flu I had last weekend. I'm better, but my voice is still a total wreck. But anyways, guys, I do have the players whose stock went up and those that went down following that beautiful win in Miami on this past Sunday. Beautiful. Is it beautiful? Well, it is beautiful. It's beautiful because we won the AFC East again, and that's 4 straight years. And we are going in as the number 2 seed into the playoffs. So that's what makes it beautiful. The game, not so much. It was good. It had its moments, but it was scary at times if you're a Bills fan. But at the end of the day, we got the job done, and that's all that matters, right? At the end of the day, you got the dub, and you move on to the next. So that we did. And for those, by the way, that say, we're bragging or I'm bragging about winning the AFC's title and who cares, listen, it's okay to be happy if you won your division. It's not easy to do. Okay, you play division games twice a year, every year. Teams get familiar with you. They know your strengths. They know your weaknesses. It's not an easy feat, especially to do it 4 straight seasons. So yes, I think it's okay to be a little bit happy that the Buffalo Bills achieved that and won the East, and by doing so, you are guaranteed a home game no matter what. And we got the number 2 seed. So now we're guaranteed at least 2 home games if we go ahead and handle business against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So really, no, guys, it's not bragging. We understand the main goal here. We get it. It's not to win the East and be out in the divisional round, right? Or a wild card round. The goal is to get to the Super Bowl. But I'm going to tell you, like I told you all season long, the Bills understand this. The Bills know they can get into the playoffs. They know they can win the AFC East. We've done it multiple years in a row, right? These other teams, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Patriots, they're all trying to catch up. They're all trying to get their first goal, which is to win the division. And they haven't done so, right? Our goals are a little bit different, right? We know we know that we can do this. We've already done it. And I said that before. I'll say it again. I get it, but it's okay to be happy for winning your division. I mean, that's normal, That should be every team's initial goal, especially if you haven't done it in a while. You know what I mean? Like the Lions. I get it. I get why Detroit fans are happy. They haven't done that in years, won the division. So, yes, it does mean something. And for me, at least, it means, it's not so much bragging rights, but it's an accomplishment when you win 4 straight seasons. I remember the Patriots running this division for years. And what was the goal of the Buffalo Bills? To catch the almighty Patriots. And that was the goal of the Dolphins, the Jets. We can never do that, right? until finally the Buffalo Bills got their act together and knocked off the Patriots. Finally. It was a big deal. I remember that. I remember that in 2020. It was a huge deal. Finally knocking off the kings of the East, because that's what they were. And now we are the kings of the AFC East. And that's and there's nothing wrong with pounding your chest and saying so. Right? Sticking out your chest. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We are the kings of that division. And until another team knocks us off, that it will remain the same. But yes, we have I get it. We have different goals in mind. We know this, right? Josh Allen, the team knows this. They're just shirts and hats. They mean nothing. The Lombardi Trophy is what it's all about. And that's what we're trying to get. So no, it's not just, I'm not on here bragging about a fucking AFC East title. I'm happy. It's a big difference. You know what I mean? But I almost at the same time, I think it's okay to pump up your chest a little bit and be like, yeah, you know what I mean? We are the kings of the East. But I don't really consider that bragging. It's just what it is. It's a fact. And until another team can knock us off, it is what it is. Anyway, so I got your players whose stock went up and stock down, and of course coaches. So let's go ahead and get this thing going. Once again, shout out to Bill's Wire for creating this article. All right, let's see. This is, by the way, I don't read this ahead of time, so this is always interesting to see who they got, because I don't always agree with their stock up, stock down. All right, first up, stock up, quarterback, Josh Allen. As mentioned, Allen did not have a perfect game by any means, but his performance showed why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL when he finds his rhythm. Aside from his turnovers, Allen was lethal in the passing game, and he was making some key plays running the football as well. And yeah, man, except for the turnovers, right? 2 interceptions, a fumble, Allen actually had a really good game. Let me get to his stats, so his final stats, so I can, go over that with you. So as far as the stats go, give me 1 second, fellas. All right. So his finishing stats on that game, Allen, 30 of 38, 359, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, quarterback rating of 101. He also rushed for 15 carries, 67 yards, 4.5 average. Guys, that's a really good game. Take away the interceptions, and listen, the first one, it's one of those things. He needs him and Gabe Davis are just not. They're not on the same level, right? They're not connecting. They're not on the same wave level, right? Like something's off, right? He's thinking Gabe's going one way and he's going the other. It's been like that all year. I don't understand why. If you go back and look at the majority of Josh Allen's interceptions this year, a lot of them are passes thrown to Gabe Davis. And I'm not totally blaming Gabe Davis on this, but there's definitely a disconnect there between Allen and Gabe Davis this year. And it's weird because they didn't have that before. They've always had a pretty good connection. And this year it's off. I don't know why, but that's leading to a lot of interceptions. And Allen needs to stop trusting in Gabe Davis that he's thinking the same way. He's on the same page as Josh Allen and just tossing the ball up there, because it's leading to turnovers. That's not good. I thought the second interception from Josh Allen, the one where he threw it up in the end zone, it was 4th and 2. I felt like he could have gotten the first down with running. He chose to throw that ball there to take the chance, and that's what Josh does. And sometimes you got to take the good with the bad with Josh Allen. He's a risk taker. He's Brett Favre-ish. That's why he led the league in turnovers this year. It is what it is. But he also led the league in touchdowns. I mean, it is what it is. This is, Josh is Josh. And Josh is going to make unbelievable plays, and he's going to make some head-scratching plays. But you know what? I can deal with it. I can. It might be frustrating, at times, But I think the good outweighs the bad when it comes to Josh Allen. And in this game, like I said, man, you look at the numbers, 30 of 38. That's unbelievable. That's a really good completion percentage. 2 touchdowns. Like I said, they're running alone almost 70 yards on the ground. That's unbelievable, guys. That he is this offense. Like, he is what makes this offense go. With no Josh Allen, this team would be not good. It would not be a playoff team. Let's be real, okay? All right, next up. So stock up, by the way, I totally agree with that. 1,000%. All right, stock up. Stock down. Woo! James Cook, and I agree, by the way. The Bills' running game wasn't too effective against the Dolphins, and Cook had a lot to do with that, as he couldn't find a way to be more impactful either through running the football or by catching it. He did have a nice run or two, but other than that, he was largely kept in check in a game where Buffalo could have used a big play from him to make the game easier down the stretch. Cook dropped another easy touchdown catch as well. Listen, Josh Allen could not have handed him the ball better. That is now, I believe, 3 times this season that James Cook has dropped a pass for a potential touchdown. You can't have that. You cannot leave points off the board. By the way, the very next play was an interception. Very next play. It's crazy to me. No, not an interception. I apologize. The very next play was the play to Ty Johnson, who got stuffed at the 1-yard line, who, by the way, it was helmet to helmet, but it's too late now. There's not, we could complain about the refs all day long. The refs, by the way, have done a terrible job this season. They've missed so much. But either way, that play should have never happened if it wasn't for James Cook dropping the ball in the end zone. But you know what? Like, media, even some Buffalo media or people that do content, they ignore those little things that happen in the course of a game. And you can't ignore that stuff, guys. You can't. You can't just point the finger at Josh Allen and be like, he's the reason why we failed. He's the reason why we didn't get the touchdown. Oh, really? Well, what about the one that James Cook had right in his hands prior to that play happening? It's a touchdown. We're not even talking about this right now. We're talking about a 3-touchdown performance by Josh Allen, not a 2. So it's a little wild to me. But yeah, James Cook, I said it before, I like him, but he's not a 3-down back. He's not. We need a complimentary running back next year for James Cook. We need a bigger back, a younger, bigger back, basically like a younger Leonard Fournette, right? Or younger Murray. We need to draft a running back, bring him in here. Stop going small, in your running back room. We already have James Cook as a small running back. He does not run well between the tackles early in a game. He does later in a game as the defense starts to wear down, and that's why you need the bruiser-type running back to wear down that defensive line, so it makes it easier for James Cook to get between the tackles and to shed off some of the tacklers. But yeah, he just did not have a good game, in my opinion. And it sucks because we need to get that running game going. All right, next up, especially this weekend coming up, it's going to be a cold, windy, probably snowy day in Buffalo, and we're going to have to run the ball. All right, next up, stock up Christian Benford. I agree. Despite the tough assignment of having to defend arguably the most dangerous wide receiver in the NFL, in Tyreek Hill, Benford did a solid job in his coverage for the most part. He came up with some clutch tackles and made things difficult for Miami quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. I'm just going to say Tua, by providing some tight windows for him to have to throw through. Yeah, man, I said it before, I'll say it again. Christian Benford has really surprised me, and what he has done since his rookie season. like how he won, the fact that he won the job over a first-round draft pick, Kyer Elam, day one of 2022, one right there is an accomplishment, because that doesn't happen often in the NFL, where a 6th-rounder beats out a first-rounder. And then 2, he kept it. And he's gotten better and better and better and better as the seasons go on, right? So he's in the 2nd season now. So I should say as the games go on. And even this year, I felt like, week 1 to week 2 to week 3, like you could see the progression for Christian Benford. And man, I'm happy this guy's on this team. It was a great draft pick by Brandon Beane. I'm happy that Sean McDermott trusted in Christian Benford and put him on the field, because clearly Kyer Elam was not the right fit. And that's why Kyer Elam is still inactive. But yeah, man, I couldn't be happier for Christian Benford. He plays physical. He gets, even when he gets beat, he gets back on the play, makes a play on the ball. That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. And we need him to continue to get better, for this team, because you got guys like Tyreek Hill, right? You got guys like Jamar Chase. Like, we need Christian Benford to keep working on his craft and keep getting better for this team. But anyways, yeah, stock up for sure. All right, next up. Stock down Leonard Floyd. Okay. While the Bills' defense provided some big plays that helped propel this team to victory, there were some players who could have been more of an impact. Floyd among them. Floyd did not put much pressure on Tua all game long, though he was capable of doing much more when the opportunity is there. You know what? I thought he did some good run defense. Nobody got to Tua, and not a lot of people do. Tua gets rid of the ball. I think he gets rid of the ball the quickest in the NFL. And they do that for a reason, because they know he is like Glass Joe back there. And they don't want Tua getting hurt. They also know their offensive line is not the best in the NFL. So that's why they have a plan in Miami to get rid of the ball quick. So getting to Tua is not an easy feat, right? So I don't blame Leonard Floyd for not getting to Tua. Nobody got to Tua. We had 1 sack, and it wasn't even on Tua. It was on their running back, who was in a passing formation. So, I thought Leonard Floyd, I didn't think he played great or anything. So I wouldn't put him stock down. I would just leave him out of this list altogether. So I disagree with the stock down when it comes to Leonard Floyd. All right, next up. Stock up. Wide receiver, Khalil Shakir. Shakir has some big performances this season, and none were under more important circumstances than needing to win to clinch the division and become the number 2 seed in the AFC playoffs. He was a big play threat all game long against the Dolphins and was uncoverable in some big moments in this contest that allowed Buffalo's passing game to flourish. I agree, man. Listen, I said it since his rookie season. Khalil Shakir is one of those, like, under the radar draft picks. I thought he was a really good player in college, and honestly, I was kind of surprised that he fell to us, because looking at the film, I felt like he should have been higher in the draft. But once given the opportunity for the Buffalo Bills, he's always stepped up to the plate, even his rookie year. And his yards after catch is, for me, is the best on the team. And there's no doubt about it. And he's, like I said, he's starting to build this connection with Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen's starting to trust in Khalil Shakir. I think Josh Allen's actually starting to trust Khalil Shakir more than he's trusting Gabe Davis at this point. By the way, Gabe Davis did get hurt in that game. It is not a, significant, crazy injury that's going to keep him out of the playoffs, but it's a 1 to 3 week injury on his knee. So more than likely he misses the Pittsburgh game. So what does that mean? Khalil Shakir is probably going to be the 2. And Khalil Shakir needs to continue to do what he's doing, which is playing really, really good, sound football. And we're going to need him. We're definitely going to need him moving forward. And, you know, I couldn't be happier with Khalil Shakir and what he's brought to this team. So, yeah, stock up, no doubt about it. All right, next up, stock down, running back Leonard Fournette. Fournette was signed to hopefully bring something to the backfield that complements Cook in a way that helps the Bills' running game run smoothly. But he wasn't able to do that in this one. Similar to Cook, Fournette did not make many big runs against Miami's defense and couldn't make anything happen in the passing game either. So that's the end of that article, by the way. So to be fair to James Cook, he's new to this team. Okay, we just picked him up. I believe this is his second game for us. So it's not like Leonard Fournette, you know, has all this experience with this offense, right? Listen, I don't think we can't expect so much from Fournette right away, right? He is what he is. He's an aging running back. But I still think he could provide some leadership back there in the running back room as well. I still think he can be that power running back we need on short yardage runs. I do think he's still a good pass catching running back. We just haven't really thrown to him. I don't believe we've thrown to him once. So them saying he hasn't done anything in the past, it's like he hasn't even had an opportunity. But yeah, he needs to play a little better for sure. But there's also probably a little bit of rust in there as well from sitting on the couch most of the year. There's also the fact that he probably doesn't know, he's not totally 100%, knowing the offense just quite yet, right? I think he's probably close to it. But yeah, we'll need him for sure. We'll probably need Murray. Ty Johnson got a concussion, so we're not sure if he's going to play this weekend against Pittsburgh. That may mean that you'll see Cook, Fournette, and Murray in this Pittsburgh game, and we may need all of them, because if this is the kind of game that we're all thinking it might be, which is a ground and pound type of game because of the weather, those two backs, especially those two backs, and Fournette and Murray are going to be very useful in this game. So we'll need them, and we'll need them, by the way, for pass protection, because James Cook, that's another flaw in his game. He's not good at pass protection. He's very light. He doesn't do it well. And unfortunately, teams right now are blitzing a lot against the Bills, and the offensive line isn't quite there yet in pass protection as far as picking up the blitz. It's not very good right now, and a little bit that falls on Josh Allen as well. There is times that he could step up in the pocket. He chooses not to. Now, I'm not saying all the time, because I've gotten some comments that says, "Oh, if he would, he could." Listen, I'm not saying all the time. There's room for him to step in the pocket, but there is occasions, because I watched the film just like you guys watched the film, that there is times that he can step up and he chooses not to. He chooses to hold the ball, wait, and I understand he's waiting for a receiver to get separation. But at the same time, he's backpedaling, and the defense is right in his face, and he's throwing it off his back foot, which is very dangerous. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it does not. But like I said, there is certain occasions I've seen where he could step up instead of holding the ball, backpedaling. That's all I'm saying. So a little bit that falls on Josh Allen as well. He needs to do a better job with that. And the offensive line, they got to wake the fuck up. You got to pass protect better. You also got to, run block a little better as well. I thought the run blocking has been much, much better this season, but last week I didn't like it. I thought the Dolphins defensive line, did a way better job, pushed our offensive line back. You can't have that. Also, Joe Brady. If the offensive line is struggling picking up the blitz, you need to adjust. You need to get some quick slants going some screen passes going. Even though we're terrible at screens, start working on them because they work. When done correctly, they work. I felt like he did that against the Dolphins late in the third quarter, started getting the ball to Dalton Kincaid on those blitzes, those quick slants. Trust me, when I tell you this, once teams figure that you know that you are picking up the blitz well, they'll stop blitzing. That's what happens because you're making them pay for blitzing. But if you're not making them pay and you're getting sacked or you're turning the ball over or you're 3 and out, they're going to keep on throwing that pressure. They're going to keep on throwing that blitz at you until you have an answer for it. And if you notice that Dolphin game, Joe Brady eventually said, "Oh shit, okay, we need to get Allen some help here. Let's get the ball out quick on a quick slant to Dalton Kincaid and let Dalton Kincaid do some magic." And that was the key to that last drive that ultimately won us the game, that got us up 21-14. So, trust me when I tell you, Pittsburgh is going to bring the heat against Josh Allen. And Joe Brady needs to have an answer for it if the Bills' offensive line does not pick it up. That's all I'm saying. So, Joe Brady, get to the film room, understand what we need to do when it comes to the blitz, and make Pittsburgh pay for bringing the heat. That's all. So stock up also Sean McDermott. I got to give Sean McDermott some credit. You guys know how I feel about Sean McDermott. I've given him a lot of heat this year, really over the last 2 seasons. But I will also give him his dues as well, just like any player as well. I have no problem saying when I'm wrong or giving a player his dues, even if I don't like that player, right? Or I think he's not a bad player, whatever. So Sean McDermott, I thought, coached a very good game, considering everything, right? Considering the injuries. Russell Douglas goes out. Dane Jackson comes in. By the way, you got to give credit to our players too for stepping up. It's not easy to do to fill some of these guys' shoes, right? And they're doing a really good job. But like I said, credit Sean McDermott for how he handled things, how he kept the defense aggressive, right? He didn't change the defense up, especially when the Dolphins had the ball their last drive. He didn't go soft zone and start, folding under pressure. He let the defense continue to play how it was playing all game long. And that's ultimately how we ended the game on an interception, right? Not playing scared football and not playing conservative either on offense. Like, I love the fact that he went for it on 4th down. Even though we didn't pick it up, I'm good with that. I can live with that. That's the kind of coach I want. A coach that coaches to win, not a coach that coaches not to lose. That's the coach we've been waiting to see. And this is the coach we need to see in the playoffs. You can't coach scared football. You got to trust your men. That's it. You got to trust your guys on the field to do their job. And I felt like years past, that was the one thing Sean McDermott didn't do well. He did not trust his players to do their job. The 13 seconds, right? Didn't trust his players. We were playing, there's no reason not to trust your players at that time. Playing a soft zone, it cost us. It cost us a lot of games. Can't do that. Can't play scared football. So I felt like this game, he went all out. He didn't coach scared. He didn't fold under the pressure. So you got to give stock up for him. Also stock up Joe Brady, and I'll say stock up because he adjusted. Finally adjusted late in the game there, especially on that late drive to pick up the blitz, start getting Dalton Kincaid more involved. So you got to give him his dues there. If he didn't do that, I probably wouldn't put him on this list. But because he did that, you got to put stock up. Also stock up, that's not on this list, Deontay Hardy, who, let's be real, hasn't done shit all year, right? And a lot of fans, including myself, were asking the question, why the fuck do we even sign this guy? Why is he even on the field? Bring up Andy Isabella at this point. And he came up with the biggest play of the season for this team. Let's be real. That was a momentum swing. That turned everything around. The Dolphins were handling their business on defense. We could not get anything going at that point. We were 3 and out, turnover. We had 7 points at that point, right? We could not get anything going. Our defense was doing fine, but our offense was stuck in the mud. And we needed a boost. We needed a spark. We needed something to happen. And it happened. It happened on 96 yards later, right? And you got to give Deontay Hardy credit. One, for having the balls to take that out, because he caught it at the 4-yard line, right? That's wild. He didn't have to do that. He probably could have let it go into the end zone, or fair catched it, and he didn't. He decided to run it back, and thank God he did, because that was the game. That's what turned the game around. That was it. The Dolphins had no answer after that. The crowd, by the way, the crowd was lit, man. A lot of Bills Mafia in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. But yeah, Deontay Hardy, thumbs up for sure. Stock up for Deontay Hardy. And I would say Trent Sherfield as well, and I'm going to say Trent Sherfield. Fuck it. He made an unbelievable play to give us our first touchdown of the game. The concentration on that, to keep his feet in bounds, to hold the ball all the way through. Very not easy, guys. Not easy to do. You got to give him credit. And once again, another player who Bills Mafia was not pleased with. That has not done anything all year long, but came through in the biggest game of the season. So you got to give him his dues and, stock up for sure, because if it wasn't for that catch, who knows what happens, right? So stock up for sure for him. All right, guys, if you have any stock up, stock down, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. Bills Mafia, I love you. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.
And look at it go! He could go all the way! Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown!
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.